everyone, it's Gwen from Rustic Diva Design, and I have a tutorial today showing you how we're going to make these two cards out of one piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper from any collection that you want. This could be Christmas, wedding, birthday, anything, just any sentiment. This is a congrats, and this I made out of a birthday card or into a birthday card. Using just one piece of 12 by 12 double-sided scrapbook paper. So the first card we're going to make is the card that says congrats, and inside it has a gift card holder and then a place for your sentiment at the top here. Just using the scrapbook paper as your card base, and then with the scraps left over, we are going to make another card however you want. This ended up being a birthday card. I'll see what I have here within my supplies to show you, and so then we'll show you that. I do have a tutorial on this style of card making in that easy greeting card tutorial that I just did, but I'll show you how to do this using the scraps making the first card. So with that, let me just move some things out of my way. I'm going to show you, these are some of the papers that I'm going to be using today here. And oh, we're also going to be able to decorate two of our envelope flaps with the pieces that are left in the scrapbook paper or in our scraps. I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry, had to get rid of some noise there. Okay, so this one is, let me see, what am I using? Cartabella. This is a paper collection, Cartabella Flora number 3. So that's what I'm using. And it has some really pretty cut-aparts that you can use in your card making. So I chose this one. And then I just had some of this purple in my stash that I'm going to be layering with and using for the second card too. So first, let's start off with the first card that has a gift card holder in it, like that. So we're going to take our 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I'm going to bring my cutter in, my big clunky cutter, and it's probably gonna wiggle a little bit, so here we go. Make sure that you're in the camera. So what you start out with, I just take my 12 by 12 sheets. So this side has all these little floral designs, and then this side has like an ombre looking stripe going this way. Now, some of the papers are directional, so depending on what you're using, you might have to make some different cuts, but let's just start with this. So we're making a regular A2 card base, which is 5.5. I have to move some stuff here. I might just, to keep you in camera here. So I'm going to start with a 5.5 cut. Just lining this up here in my board, if it will cooperate. This is a little bit heavier. You know, Cartabella has these little bit, the texture paper, and they're a little bit heavier, so which is nice for a card base. So just cutting that at 5.5, and then we're left with this big piece here yet. And then 8.5. Okay, so that's all the cuts I need at the moment. So let me move this out of the way and bring my scoreboard in. So at the top, you put your 8.5. I'm going to use this as my front, and then this will be the inside. So with the 8.5 at the top, I'm going to score this at 4.25 to make our card base. And then just fold that over here. Isn't this paper is really pretty. I like this black. So now we have our card base and the inside. And all we're going to do is to make the gift card holder. I have the Graphic 45. I tried to find the packaging and I can't remember exactly what they call this. You know, the tag and card die. I will link it in the video description, but if you have this die from Graphic 45, this is what I'm using, and I'm not using this portion. I'm only making a one-piece gift card holder, so I'm just using this to make the gift card holder for inside this card. So I'm just going to set this part aside, but this comes together in the set. Now to show you what you need to make this, in order to make your paper go how you need it, we got to bring back our cutter. I feel like I need a really big craft table or video area here. So I'm going to need a piece that is 4.5 by 5.5 to fit this die, okay? So again, if your paper is directional, you might have to change your cuts, but I'm going to cut it because, let's see, how do I want to do this? So I'm going to cut it this way this time so that my die fits like this. So I'm going to cut 4.5. I just got to get to where my paper can line up. 4.5 by 5.5, and we're just making this sheet piece so that it's gonna fit the die like this, okay? So let me show you what I'm going to use, and I'm not going to do this on camera. I have the Spellbinders die cut machine with the handle here. I'm going to put this in my die cutter because if I do this on camera, the table is just going to go wild. So what I'm doing, I'll just show you. I take my die and just line it up on here. And I have a little piece of washi tape that I just use to keep it in place, and then set it on my mat. You know, make your plate, and mine is kind of beat up here. So let me just do this over here for 1 second so that I don't make you dizzy. I'm just going to cut that quick. Run it through. And once you're done, then you just take this apart and you have your gift card holder. Okay, so that's it with that. Now, every once in a while, when I've been doing this, I know there's a certain way to fold. You know, you fold it like this. And if it's something that you don't like and you want to change it, there's nothing wrong with changing the orientation and saying, oh, I want it like this instead. So however you want to do it, I feel there's no wrong way. So you have your little tabs here. So, you know, decide if you want the black on the bottom or if you want more of the black to show on the top. Either way, it works just fine. So what I have found is that before you tuck your tabs in, I just give these a little snip to get rid of some of the bulk on the side. And then fold these in. And I'm going to put mine this way on the card. And again, it's up to you. There's no wrong way. Am I in here for you? So I'm just I'm gluing these tabs down for the gift card holder. I mean, and this is like, I've made gift card holders before, and sometimes they get a little, you know, there's a lot to it, especially if you want a place to write a sentiment and, you know, all the things that you're adding. I've made some with magnets, so I was trying to come up with an idea where I didn't use so many supplies, but still be able to have a place to put a gift card. So this was what I came up with. So now this is just going to sit in here. But first, we also have to have a place for our sentiment. So I have this little piece of purple here, and somewhere I have another piece of white. So again, this is all just using scraps. So I'm going to cut a piece for the sentiment that's going to go on top here, just like this one. So the colored paper, just because we're double matting, the colored paper measures 4 by 2 1/8. And then the white is 3 7/8 by 2. Okay? Simple. So let me get those cut, and then we can put this card together fast. And you know, when you're doing this, you have your own area, and it's going to work out so much faster. So, oh, what did I say? And I forgot. I do this, I just whip through these, a whole bunch of them, and now I forget. 4 by 2 1/8. Okay. So 2 1/8. I'm trying not to make by 4. So that's this piece. And then on the white, we're going 2 by 3 7/8. And again, these are just scraps I have laying around, which come in handy for little things like this. Okay, let's move this. And we'll get this back so we can see. And I'm just going to glue this on. Now, when I'm gluing these, I just like to glue the outside because it's the white paper, and I don't want the squiggly lines in the, you know, all over the middle of where someone's going to write. So I just glue the outside edge. And that it like so. You're just double matting. We've done this a million times. And I'm using this new glue, Barely Art glue. If anybody's used that before, let me know. It seems like it takes just a little bit longer to dry than the art glitter glue, but it works well. So because I was talking too long, it might not be exactly straight, but it's gonna work. Okay, and just a little glue there. So now we have our base and our gift card holder and the place for our sentiment. Now I left mine blank, but you could stamp, you know, if you have stamps to and from, or you could stamp something on there if you'd like to have it already prepared, which is fine. I have mentioned before, I'm not much into stamping. I don't really like to do it. So this is how I'm doing the card. I'm going to let people write whatever they want on there. And then I just glue this at the top, just centering it top to bottom, left to right. You know, just giving it a little space at the top, making sure it's straight. Like that. And then our gift card holder just goes underneath. So the reason for this idea is with the cards and the gift card holders, I have craft show season coming up. So I'm preparing for that and trying to get a bunch of stuff ready to go before it starts. I always say I'm going to work, you know, ahead of time, but all of a sudden, you know, here it is and it creeps up on you really fast. So I'm trying to get prepared and to be able to show you how to make things at the same time. So I'm going to bring these to my craft shows and have them labeled as, you know, gift card holders, along with other cards and stuff that I've already made too. Okay, so here is our card inside. If you wanted to do something over here, you could, but that's it for this part. And now I have the little cut apart from this collection that I'm just going to double mat onto this purple. I was looking for a really nice darker purple paper that in my stash, but I really didn't find anything that was darker, but I think this works just fine. It's a nice little pop of color. So this is going to be obviously a thank you card, because this says, just wanted to say thank you so much. So I have been making all these cards with the gift card holder with this cut apart on the front at an angle, and I'm going to continue to do that because this is what's setting these apart from my regular cards, that I know if this is this direction, this means it's a gift card holder, because I'm going to have all these packaged up and I don't want to get them mixed up with my other cards. So that's why I'm putting all those, the cut aparts like this on the front so that I know it's a gift card holder. That's my cue. That's my clue so that I can get them all packaged and put down. So I'm going to add, just like on this one, I'm going to add some twine at the top. So what I do for that is I just take my centering ruler and my pencil and find the center. And make just a little tick mark here with my pencil. And then I have this old clunky paper punch that I'm just going to punch a hole like so. And I do have, where are they? Oh, these little hole reinforcers. I have a bunch of these. So I'm just going to use one of those to put on here. Like that. And so it kind of looks like a little tag. And then take your, you can use ribbon, twine, and I just snip off an end and then we're going to put it through the hole. Now here comes, this is always the tricky part for me, is tying the bow so that it stays where I want it to and look like I want it to. I'm not very good at it, so I have to do what works for me. So I flip it over and do it this way so that everything lands where I want it, and just tie that. So however big of a knot that you're making, I'm gonna make the loops a little bit smaller. And I know I have extra here, but that's because I wanted to tie it, so I needed some room for my fingers. And once it looks good to you, oops, see, there, too much. I try to snug it up a little bit and then work this. So I'll fix that as soon as I get it on the card, and then just snip those off wherever you want. And there you go. So this is going to go on here like that, and I will fix that. So I'm just going to glue this on to our card base. A little glue in there. I've made so many cards over the last couple weeks. I'm like ready to move on to a different project. You know how you get like that? Unless you love, love, love card making. I don't mind it, but I think my brain needs a break. So I'm just putting this on at an angle, however you want, as much of an angle, you know, whatever looks nice to you. So that I know there's a gift card holder inside. And then just let's work this a little better there. Usually my twine, of course, you know, because I always say this, when we're filming a video, something has to go not quite right. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on this knot, just a titch, so that it dries and then it doesn't come untied. So there is your card, okay? One card down. So I'm setting that off to the side for a minute. And then I like to decorate my envelopes. Just the envelope flap. So I need a piece, see, these white envelopes, I'm gonna cut this scrapbook paper to be like 1 3/4. Maybe not quite. 1 5/8, or in between that. Oop, there's my glue pin. Better not lose that. So back to the cutter. I can probably do it this way now. Oh, right there. Just so we have enough to cover that envelope flap. And have room to trim it so you can see it. So now this is where you get to choose. Do you want this side? Or do you want this side? I think I'm going to go with the black. And if you wanted to cut some of this off, you could. I'm just going to leave it because it's going to get cut anyway. So just gluing to the edge. And I like to get right up to that crease too. And then I line it up. Are you in here? Okay. Right to that edge, that fold line, right to the fold line. And I'm going to let that dry just a little bit, but just to show you, you have this little edge here that's going to help you cut that down. So while we're waiting for that to dry, let's get to what we have left for scraps to make this. So you'll need a piece of solid cardstock for your card base. That again, that measures 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to use this purple again. So with your 8.5 at the top, score at 4 1/4. And then fold. Just making sure that's going to fold nice and even. So now we have a card base. Then you'll need 2 pieces of solid cardstock. I'm using white, 2 pieces that measure 4 by 5 1/4. One is going to go on the outside and one is for your sentiment in the inside. So for this piece, I'm just going to set the card base off to the side. This is what we're building on for this next card here. These 2 pieces. So we have scraps. And we'll need 1 piece that is 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, and one that's 3 by 4. So we have these left, these 2. So I can cut this down to 3 by 4, 3 by 4, and then cut this one to where I'll do it. So I'll just show you. So move these. And bring this back. So this piece, I'm going to cut at 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. Oh no, we are not. We are not doing that. This is the 3 by 4, sorry. So 3 by 4, it doesn't matter because you're going to use both sides of the paper. So 3 by 4. And then 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I know I have my branding strip on here, but that's okay. Let's see though, because 4 1/4 is going to leave me with that. Yeah. And I need something for my envelopes. So I want to cut this first. I'm going to make this 4 1/4 cut first. And then the 3 3/4. Okay. So now we have our base, and we have 2 pieces of paper, and we're just going to do this little technique here, however you want it to work, with one side of the paper and the other side of the paper. And then all we're making sure is that you're covering the top of your white base or whatever color base you're using. Make sure you're covering on all sides the top of your base like so. And then that these line up nice at the bottom. So right about there. And I am going to, I think this moved a little. Just straighten that out. So I just take my glue and make just a little outside line here so that I know where I'm at with the gluing. And then wherever your glue marks are, put that down. And see, we have this little bit here, which is perfect. And then room for the second piece. That just goes right up against that. And to the very edge, so you're lining them up at the bottom and on the sides. Come on now. Ooh, come on. Get over there. Like that. And I have a little bit of glue here. It's all right. So now we have that. And then we can cut this down. Just flip it over and we're just cutting off the excess right to the edge of that white base. And there's our card base, our front. Okay, like so. So this is going to glue down to your base. I'm just centering left and right, top to bottom. Okay, and then in the inside you have your other white or whatever color, for your sentiment. And again, because people might be writing on here, you could also stamp in the inside. If you want, if you're a stamper. I mean, more power to you if you are. I don't have the patience for it. That's why I don't do it much. I have done it a little bit, but it's really just, it's not my thing. So I didn't bring my sticker sheet, but I'm probably going to find something from the sticker sheet, just something small. Like, which one? Like in, nope, like in this one, sorry. You know, just to put in the inside, just for something cute. Like that. So now here's your card. I have a little, this is going to be a thank you card as well. So I have this. And I'll probably, I'm either going to mat it with this purple, or I'm just going to leave it and pop it up on foam. I'll decide what to do with that. I won't bore you with that part. So this is my second card. Here is the envelope for our first card. And when I'm looking at my scraps, I told you we were going to have enough to do 2 envelopes, but because my paper was directional, I had to cut, you know, for the gift card holder, so I had to cut the paper a little bit different. So I might not have right here in front of me with the video, I might not have what I need to do an envelope exactly how I want to do it. There might be some other scraps that I have. There probably is in my craft area that I'll have to finagle with, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So now that you have this, here is your pretty envelope to go along with your card, your gift holder card, like so. So I'm going to package these up like this, so that when they're in that clear bag, you can see that you get a, you know, little decoration on your envelope too. So, because here we have another envelope, my scraps that I have left aren't long enough. This piece is, there is ways to do it. You could just put like a strip on the bottom even, like that. Or like I said, this one's a little bit wider. You could put 2 of them together. I just don't have anything that's long enough at the moment. So I'm going to figure something out with this envelope, but you'll be able to figure it out with your scraps that you have left. You know, I mean, we could piece it together. There's options. We have options to use the rest of these scraps. So I won't show you the envelope. I'm sorry about that. I kind of lied to you in the beginning when I said I'm going to show you how we can get 2 envelopes. Well, you can, but it didn't work out for this project exactly. But that is not the end of the world, is it? So, okay, so we have 2 cards with 1 piece of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. And then, like I said, it's craft fair season. So if you're making cards for your craft show, I mean, these whip out so fast. That's why I liked it, this idea, especially with the gift card holder. People that I've made gift card holders for my craft shows, and they love those, and those have been a really hot seller for me. So that's why I wanted to do another gift card holder of some sort for the craft shows. So I am going to do another video that is I'm gonna show you the items that I bring to my craft shows, and then I'll do a follow-up video on how they sold. So I have one more project I'm working on for the craft fairs this year. So once I get those put together, I'm gonna do that other video. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions about my process here, or any comments, or I usually mess up something in my videos, so I apologize for that. Thanks for putting up with me. I will link the Graphic 45 die set that I used. I will link it in the video. And that's it for now. So again, if you subscribe to my channel, I appreciate that so much. And thank you all for your support. It really means a lot to me that you stick with me and, take my tips and tricks and hopefully use them. Let me know what you think of the project. I would love some comments from you. I always love comments and I try to respond as soon as I can. So there you go. Questions, let me know in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would do that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, thank you for watching.